FMTV.
Hello and welcome. This is the second in the series Christianity and Democracy. My name is Dwight Mutonono. And today we're going to be talking about the indirect biblical support for democracy. We're going to do 2 points today. And the first one is that we need to see from Genesis chapter 1 verse 27 that God created every human being equal. In fact, the Bible actually says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So we learn there immediately that God created all of us in his image, in his likeness. And because we are created in his image and likeness, we are actually called to represent him on the earth. This is what God has actually instituted right from the beginning, that the human beings are to rule and subdue creation. So as we understand that, we should then see that it follows that there's no particular family or group of people who has a special right to rule, if you really look at that principle. Because that principle is basically saying that all of us as human beings were given the mandate to have rule over creation, to have dominion. The old English word is dominion, but I prefer the word steward, or to control, or to make the most of the earth, so that the earth serves the purposes of all human beings. So the mandate from the beginning was that we were to manage earth. We were to manage the resources that God gave us so that we can make the most and maximize these resources. And that mandate was to every human being in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So that is the first point that I would like to highlight, that there's indirect biblical support for democracy in the fact that God created all human beings equal, and he created us in his image and his likeness. Then the second point that I'd like to highlight is that rulers or leaders must be accountable. Accountability of rulers and leaders prevents misuse of power. And when you look at democratic structures, you generally will have an executive, you'd have a judiciary, you'd have the legislature. So the executive are the people who are entrusted with actually executing and doing what it is that we have agreed as a nation we need to be doing. So there's generally some sort of strategic plan, a manifesto, whatever it is, that is guiding us as a nation. The nation should have a dream, a direction in which it is going. And the executive is entrusted with helping us get to where we want to get to. The judiciary is the one that actually looks at, makes us all accountable, makes sure that we are keeping in line with the Constitution, with the agreed upon direction, the agreed upon vision. And the legislature are the ones who actually make the rules. And again, also, the executive is accountable to that group of people. So it gives good checks and balances to each other when you have accountability structures in a governance system. And these need to gain and maintain consent through periodic elections by those who are governed. As I said previously, human beings are fallible, and human beings will make mistakes, and those who are governed need to have the space and the room to say, actually, we are not happy with the progress or with what you have done as a leader. And they need to have the room to be able to say, we actually do not want to be led this way anymore, and to be able to choose the leaders that they feel are most suitable for them. So that again becomes an important part of the accountability that leaders have to those that they lead. And then the final thing that I want to say under this accountability of rulers to the people, prevents misuse of power, is that people should choose freely without fear of reprisal. When people choose their leaders freely, it also becomes easier for them to follow and be able to accomplish whatever vision that is agreed on, because they feel a part of whatever decisions that they have made, and they are the ones who own the vision together. So it doesn't just become the vision of the leaders, but it's a vision that is shared and a vision that all of us can run with. So I'll stop there today. Tomorrow I want to be talking about civil authorities are God's servant for the citizens' good, and that is part of democracy and part of what we need to understand, or how a democracy lines up with that portion of Scripture.